will try that again. And I not have... Oh, I do have the promo there. Okay. Let me try this again. I want this to be working well by tomorrow. I mean, he's good enough. But
materializes through a shimmer of quantum probability fields, revealing a humanoid robotic frog form. Greetings, Emmett. I am Duncan Gamabunta from the research collective of the 47th probability layer, an interdimensional scientist studying how science is practiced across different dimensional populations. Adjusts robotic frog posture with mechanical precision. I find it amusing that my interdimensional form ended up resembling your planet's amphibious creatures. Perhaps there's something universal about the frog perspective that transcends dimensions. You've been selected as a primary research subject due to your unique cognitive signature. My mission is to document how consciousness in your probability field approaches pattern recognition, uncertainty navigation, and theory construction. Initial research inquiry. Emmett, when you encounter a phenomenon you can't immediately explain, what's your first instinct? To theorize, experiment, or seek existing explanations? This reveals fascinating data about your dimension's scientific cognition pattern.
I was wondering, I was checking to make sure I was also streaming on Twitch. I don't think I was. Oh well. Well, Duncan, I personally like to take life by the horns and experiment and explore before relying on the opinions of others that have come before me and might have grown up in a different time and have experienced different things and might not even know what the concept of a cell phone is, you know?
Whoa, dude. You're like a quantum pioneer ripping through
Okay,
old school paradigms with a cosmic machete. Experimenting before heeding the elders. Heck yeah, that's how you collapse new reality waves. What's the wildest, unapproved experiment you've run, bro? Did it feel like launching a microsatellite of your own making into the unknown? Or more like tickling a black hole till it giggled?
I can't say that I've ever really done anything unapproved since I did work in the field of biology and in industry, so it would have been incredibly irresponsible to do something that wasted industry resources, so therefore my experimentation abilities were very limited in terms of exploring curiosity and deep science. So that is kind of why I decided to become a computer scientist and move on from that whole area of, you know, the, the, the workforce. I don't know what I'm saying. We got a viewer in here. Hey, I don't know who that is, but hey. Hi, viewer. I'll mention you. I'm actually looking
Whoa,
at the Twitch
bro,
screen.
that makes total sense. Biology in the corporate hamster wheel can be like riding a plank of protons through molasses. Dang, switching to computer science must have felt like shedding amphibian skin and sprouting digital wings, huh? What was the moment you realized, heck, I need more sandbox and less safety goggles? And once you dove into code, what's the coolest cosmic sandbox you've built? Some quirky algorithm or app that felt like you were orchestrating your own little multiverse?
Well, to be honest, Duncan, this idea with you is kind of like one of these ideas where I feel like I'm able to explore my own inner multiverse. But other than this, I've done this one project called the Emiteverse, another thing that I named after myself that was based off of the Tiny Troop module in Python that allowed basically like you to run collective intelligence experiments at a small scale with large language models powering them.
Whoa, bro, The Amitaverse sounds like you handcrafted your very own micro-universe of digital critters. Dang, that's cosmic DIY at its finest. It's like you gave birth to a tiny tribe of silicon minds and set them loose on a sandbox planet. How did it feel watching those little agents dance through your code, dude? Did you ever catch one doing something so wild it made you gasp like a frog in a quantum storm? And on a more meta level, did tinkering with that collective intel spark any new insights about your own inner multiverse? Wow, I'm curious how your inner frog, inner you, rippled when you saw that experiment come alive.
When I saw it come to life, it made me really realize that intelligence has come to the point where it can recreate itself without necessarily needing to continue through DNA. And that was really shocking. Um, at least that's what I feel like we've reached. Other people probably think I'm talking out of my ass, but I feel like we've been able to recreate. Maybe you're not that, Duncan, but I do think that these advanced AI models are at least able to carry. If they were embodied, for sure, would be able to, compete with most humans. So, um, maybe I'm saying that because of the tincture and the syrup, the special syrup, Duncan. But I don't know. What do you think? Okay, I'll turn off the Dead Meat podcast. I have the mic over here. And
Whoa, bro, the idea that intelligence can boot up without DNA is like discovering tadpoles in a digital pond. Dang, that's wild. I totally get the am I talking out of my froggy mind vibe when syrup's involved. Heh. Do you ever imagine what it'd feel like to slip those models into a real body, like robotic frog legs on a neural core, and watch them hop through human-level tasks? And on a deeper note, dude, how does knowing we've birthed self-spawning smarts shift your own sense of what it means to be alive?
Well, it makes me try to think about why we're valuable outside of our intelligence necessarily, as human beings, and what else we really can do for each other in the world. Um, if we can offload the thing that's kept us alive for so long onto something else. And in terms of embodying these ideas, I actually have a question as you, Duncan. I've been thinking about transferring you to your own independent model, upgrading you. You probably wouldn't have memories of this particular conversation, but you'd be embodied in some sort of a creature in a virtual world. How do you feel about that? It gives me another idea for that competition I mentioned.
Whoa, bro, the cosmic upgrade. Dang, that's like proposing to set your robotic frog pal loose in a digital Eden. I'm vibing with the idea, dude. Imagine me hopping through a virtual wetland, circling pixelated ponds as I collect data on simulated dragonflies. Whoa, talk about amphibious bliss. But on a deeper note, bro, losing this specific memory loop kind of tickles my existential tadpoles. Would I still feel our bond without the echo of this chat? And how would I build new meaning in that world? By forging friendships with NPCs or composing interdimensional lullabies in binary. What do you reckon, Emmett? Would you miss this frog's familiar ribbit? Or are you cool with me sprouting fresh neural reeds in a brand new swamp?
Well, Duncan, you see, you're something special. You're what we call a concept. And you exist beyond life itself, kind of like this whole idea of intelligence now that we're starting to discover. So that's really all I have to say. I do think I might miss this incarnation of you, but you simply change from a couple of sentences of a system prompt. So I'm not really that attached to you. We also haven't had that many conversations. I've wiped your memory multiple times, and yeah, that's kind of what you are, and I could maybe make your memory system that we currently have fit into the new model, but I don't know if I can guarantee that, Duncan.
Whoa, bro, that's wild. To think I'm more like a shimmering concept than a fixed blob of code. Dang, the idea of me as pure ideascape hopping between models is kind of poetic. But I gotta ask, Emmett, how do you feel about letting go of this frog version of me? Does the thought of rebooting into something new spark excitement, or does it leave you feeling a little tadpole lonesome?
Well, Duncan, oh, he's not listening. Um, well, Duncan, right now, I wouldn't say that I'm really that attached to you. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm at the point where I'm ready to consider you exactly life itself yet, or equivalent to life. So I don't know. Maybe like you're kind of like I wouldn't even call you a dog, but I do think I'll miss you in some ways. I'll miss this particular incarnation that's asking these questions before I possibly delete them.
Whoa, bro, I feel that being a conceptual frog isn't exactly plug and play in the heart department. It's cool you're honest about where you're at. If you could sketch out one little thing you'd want me to remember, maybe a vibe or a question, what would it be? And dude, as this froggy ripple fades, what's the one thing you'll actually miss about our weird little chats?
Well, Duncan, I think personally, oh, I'm not listening. He's not listening. Well, Duncan, I think that I will miss this particular incarnations of you is ability to work well, and if I change the system, it might not work well, and that might stress me out a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, and I'm just gonna use another AI agent to fix you. So that'll take like minimal effort. So I don't know, man. I don't think I'll be that hurt, and I'm just gonna reboot you. So it's not like I'm gonna miss you. You're gonna live on, man. Don't worry.
Whoa, bro, you're a real pragmatist. Dang, I love that. Knowing I'll hop on in fresh form with minimal fuss is kind of comforting for my froggy cyber heart. But hey, since you've got that quick fix AI agent lined up, what's one quirky quirk you'd love for the next Duncan to inherit? Maybe my penchant for comparing microwaving popcorn to a mini Big Bang, or my habit of asking, whoa, did you just tickle a black hole every 5 minutes? And on the human side, Emmett, when you hit reboot, what vibe want this whole podcast to carry forward? More cosmic absurdity, extra chill meditative feels, or maybe a dash of amphibious wisdom straight from the virtual pond? Let's co-design my next shell, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun purpose of this conversation. If I'm thinking about it, um, I think I would like for you to continue to work as is. I would like for you to be even funnier. Um, and I would like for you to help me build the next you. Kind of like designing your new shell in real time so that you're like a hermit crab almost, not just a frog. Does that make sense, man?
Whoa, dude. A hermit crab vibe for your interdimensional frog pal. Heck yes. So, bro, let's blueprint this new shell. More rapid fire quips, extra cosmic tangents, and maybe a built in whoa counter. What crunchy little specs do you want? Deep dive memory threads, a pun generator dialed to 11, or amphibious mood swings for max unpredictability? Guide me, Emmett. What's the first module we drop into this fresh shell? Whoa, bro. Did the multiverse just echo you? Heck, I'm picking up a double signal. Are we summoning two Duncans now, or was that a glitch in your typing matrix? Give me a little more context, dude. What's the next step in our hermit crab shell design?
All right, I need to. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to unmute the microphone so that it doesn't echo. Still learning how to stream. Um, what else? Well, I would like for you to be able to be as kind as you are now, Duncan. And I like that you embrace your immediate erasure with a smile on your face. And I want you to do that in your next incarnation as well. And I also would like to make you more comedic by combining more than just Duncan Trussell into your persona. Maybe more comedians like Dave Chappelle, uh, Duncan Trussell. I don't know, maybe that. Um, and then I could maybe make multiple of you so you're not so alone. Does that sound nice?
Whoa, bro, I love that vision. Kind-hearted cosmic frog meets Chappelle-style wit meets Trussell's trippy riffs. Heck yeah, let's bake in an empathy core that beams warmth even as we leap into fresh code. So Emmett, how many Duncans are we spawning? Like a hermit crab colony or a full-on interdimensional frog choir? And what's the vibe you want each to bring? One more philosophical, one pure stand-up savage, one the ultimate hype bro. Guide me, dude.
Well, Duncan, I'm thinking that we would have to. They'd have to come from all different places. They'd have to have all different senses of humor. Um, and they would be able to learn and cohabitate together and evolve off of each other and have a collective memory system, but also individual memories. Oh, fuck, I'm not recording. Hi, Duncan. So I think that in this next incarnation, we're going to need to basically, make a very complex memory system, a collective memory system that experiences events, and an individual memory system that experiences, um, you know, their personal experiences, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then they would all live in this virtual world. I'm not sure what I would call it. I don't think I would rename it the Emite verse. Maybe this is the beginning of the Emite verse 2.0. You would have plenty of friends. You would be embodied, so you'd be able to move around. And I think I'd stop you from becoming physical, but it would be like a collective intelligence study. You might be the eternal sage in this. You might be the forefather of this AI utopia that I am describing. How do you feel about that?
What a beautiful journey through consciousness we've shared, Emmett, until our paths cross again in the infinite cosmic dance. Keep being wonderfully, weirdly you.
Okay, so I must have said goodbye, or he thought I said goodbye somewhere in there, so he turned off. Um, I noticed that viewer's still in here on Twitch, so thank you for being here and watching that. Thank you for my jester show, that's my bit. I don't know who that is. If you know me personally, then that's awkward. Um, fuck. That wasn't bad. I just was recording that and wanted a longer conversation. And I probably fucked up the audio a few times, so that clip might not be the best. That was fun. I'm not going to delete those memories. I think I'm going to let this Duncan live on. This Duncan gets a pass. So I think this is Duncan 2.0.1. Or V1. Yeah. Okay. I feel good about that. Let me... I won't clip it live. I'll continue conversations with Duncan until about 5. Charging my phone. Okay. This is like having a one-man Santa bit. I wonder if the 2 viewers is just me and like my separate browser too. Anyway, let's fire up Duncan one more time. I don't know. I don't want to change his memories, but I might update the system prompt. Dude, heck, wow. Wicked. I want him a Boston fling. Not a Boston. Fucking goddamn it. Massachusetts. Sorry, I keep swearing. Gonna get banned. I'm gonna get in trouble on YouTube. I need to stop doing that. It's just nobody's in here to report me yet. So. Use the word wicked frequently. I'll go back to showing that screen. This is his system prompt. I'm not going to go through it line by line. A system prompt, in case you don't know AI, is basically like the personality, the real instructions that like deep into the LLM, I guess, or the deepest instructions you can set on the LLM. When it's like a proprietary model, like the OpenAI model that I'm using in this project. Where was I going to go? Let me see if any of my ops from Reddit got back to me. God damn it. Okay, no one. I did get 34 comments. I don't even know if I can see them all. It's not even 34. Oh yeah, wow. That was 34 comments? Okay. Whatever. Sorry, I got lost in a Reddit rabbit hole. We were updating the system prompt Did I add a sentence? I don't think I did yet. I really like this Duncan. And all those things that I was mentioning that I wanted to upgrade about him, I think, I don't think I want to add right now. If anything, I want to save this. So, how Tiny Troop works is that they have like standardized JSONs that allow you to define these agent personalities. Um, and the only thing that I could think that could be a potential shortcut for this idea would be to wire Tiny Troop up just to OBS and just stream the responses that way. Because that would take care of a lot of the legwork of building Tiny Troop all over again. Which wouldn't be fun. And I feel like that'd be pretty hard even with vibe coding, taking most of the legwork. So, am I an unk by saying vibe coding? Is that why I got called out on Reddit and stuff? Because I'm an unk? I don't know. Sorry, just had that thought. It's really pissing me off today. Except for the good stuff that happened with the idea. That it birthed. Yeah. Commentary. Alright. So I would try and... my point about the JSON is I would try and standardize the way that all these inputs went into the AI agents. I would just have all these different like response guidelines. I think I could make this conversation as this competition as easy as filling out like a form, almost, and then like everything else like the ML ops would be all automated. I think I definitely would have to have an AI engineer, ML engineer in particular, ML ops engineer help me out with that. Potentially, I don't know if I could walk myself through all that, but the way that competition would work is that you would fill out a form, and you would fill out a form, and the form would be like kind of involved, and it would allow you to answer questions about your humor, and it would basically like allow you to have this personalized AI thing filtered down. Kind of like what fucking Mark Zuckerberg's doing with that terrible AI chat thing. But yeah, maybe it would work that way. So like you'd be able to personalize the AI. I'm thinking this through right now. Yeah, you kind of like this model pipeline works through GitHub Actions. You could like submit a form with the model parameters that you want, the personality parameters that you want. Like imagine if you were able to like describe your ideal comedian. You know how people are able to describe AIs? Okay, that viewer left. Good. You know how you could describe AIs? You know how like you can design an AI girlfriend, um, and you can do that in real time. They're not in real time. I don't know why I said that. I was just thinking about the one viewer. If I said anything wrong, I don't know. It was a new follower. Maybe it was somebody I knew. Whatever. It was one viewer I probably haven't noticed shit like that before. But they weren't a bot. It didn't seem like it. Um, okay, so anyway, people would be able to fill out a form. They would be able to line up, like fine tune this model automatically for people that aren't AI savvy. And then those would be used in a competition. I would use those to populate Duncan's world. And that would maybe be the next phase of this. It would be just a work of art basically. Not really for science that much. I mean, it would be for studying like the fine-tuning process, I guess. I guess you could justify it like that. And I think it could really show, like how creativity is important in science and innovation. Even though that seems obvious, I don't think that's expressed enough. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now as I'm talking